Hey there, I'm Jenn HERMAN with Jenn's Trends. And if you've thought about using a branded hashtag on Instagram or want to figure out how to set up a branded hashtag, this is the video for you. So first of all, should you be using branded hashtags on Instagram? Yes, of course you should. They are hugely valuable, and we're going to talk about why. But first, let's talk about how to set one of those up. Now, your branded hashtag can be anything you want it to be as long as it relates to your brand. It can be your brand name. It can be your tagline. It can be something that your business is known for. It can be the solution that your service or product solves. Anything that is tied to your brand that you want people to use in context. So for example, I use hashtag Jenn's Trends. That's my brand name. I also use hashtag Learn from Jenn because people learn from me. I teach. Whether they're at a conference or tuning into a webinar, they can use that hashtag when posting content about me. So those are my two branded hashtags. You can figure out which ones are best for your brand based on all of those different criteria of whether it's, like I said, a tagline, what you do, any of those sorts of things. But before you claim it, because no one really owns a hashtag, but you want to make sure that no one else is using that hashtag, you want to make sure that what you have is basically your own. So you want to go to Instagram, go to the search criteria, and go and plug in your hashtag that you want to use. So you could type in, for example, Learn from Jenn. And when you do that, you're going to look and see if any other content comes up. If it says no results, boom, high five, go ahead and start using that hashtag. If there's other content on there, is that content current? Is it something that somebody is regularly using and creating content around? If so, try something else. If it's got content on there, but not a ton, and it's all really old, and it's probably from somebody using it a long time ago, you may want to still use it. You may want to look for an alternative. You also want to make sure that your branded hashtags are easy to recognize, easy to spell, and easy to use. So we don't want something that's super long, that's really complicated for people to remember. We don't want things with weird, funny spellings. So acronyms and shortening things can help. But if it's all these weird jumbled letters and people wouldn't know what that acronym is, that's really not going to help your brand. In that case, you might want to write it out. So look and see what works, and then also make sure that you read that hashtag as one long word. Because sometimes when we stick words together or we use acronyms, what we read and we know what it's supposed to look like, if you read it as one long thing, the combination of letters may actually phrase different words or a different phrase that could be awkward, offensive, rude, not good. So before you go and say, this is what we're going to do, make sure you have yourself and or other people read that for context to make sure that it's not going to impact your brand negatively when you start using that. So why would you want to use these branded hashtags on Instagram? Well, it gives another source of gallery of results for your content. So let's say you post something on Instagram and you're using a series of hashtags. By the way, if you haven't yet checked out my video on Instagram hashtags, the best strategy for success out there, I'll link that in the comments of this video and you can go check that one out too. But if you're using a series of hashtags, someone may actually find your content from a hashtag search, not because they came to your profile. So what can happen is they go and look at your content, they're looking at that from a search result, and they can see the other hashtags. If they see your branded hashtag, they can now click on that branded hashtag from that piece of content and go to a whole gallery of your content. And it's not just content that maybe you created, but also that your customers have created. It becomes this living testimonial about your brand. It's sourced content, it's user-generated content that your new viewer, this person who just found your content, has the opportunity to see about your brand. And again, maybe someone is at an event or someone hears about you on a podcast or someone comes across your hashtag on a marketing piece of material. If they go and look at that hashtag, again, they're going to see that same gallery where it's not just your content, it's content created by your audience as well. And it shows a better depth to your content, to your brand, and what you do. It can really help bolster that trust in your content by having all of these different pieces of content gathered under one hashtag. And that is why I'm a huge proponent for using those branded hashtags on Instagram. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so, and you'll get notifications whenever I share these new little tips and tricks and training videos. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.